Biscuit Hunters, welcome back to another video. We're here in Stalking Plains. I'm in the middle of stalking a really nice kudu herd here. We got two of them. We got one here to my left. Hopefully we can do a follow-up stalk on them. We're going to focus on this one over here because there's a really nice male. Seems maybe like a 4-star. Let's have a closer look. One of the theories I've been testing out lately is how can we effectively do herd management on Ranger? Because I'm very determined to find out how and how effectively can we do it. And one way I'm finding is that I feel as if I need to pay attention to the genetics that I'm calling, that I'm taking out, the so-called low genetic. And I need to pay attention to see how high or low that genetic is. I cannot go by 50% anymore as the midway point. I have to treat it with sort of an uneven number. So like 40 to 43. It's like maybe, let's say what, 65? I have to kind of go in between like that. Because 50 is no longer a good gauge. Maybe something has been tweaked, but I feel as if we look at the genetics percentage, this will give us an overall feel kind of what we have in that herd. Because I am of the opinion that whenever a new animal spawn in, obviously they should get better, right? That's what herd management is. You take out the low, so the next time an animal spawn in, it should be a better version of that. So if you encounter a herd and you take out a low genetic by using the low collar, that should give you some kind of inclination of what's already in the herd. So you can make an informed decision. Did I spook these guys already? Okay, so they're right here. I think that's the guy I'm looking for. Yeah, so that's a decent male. I think he's probably the biggest. He's the biggest in the group. So when you approach the herd, you want to kind of assess what you have. And I'm thinking we got at least 3 or 4 guys here that are maybe 3 stars. 3 and 2 stars. It's a pretty big boy there, so let's try and take him. So he looks like a 4-star. Now the thing is, I don't think he's ready for the taking. Based on what I'm seeing in the herd here. So you're seeing how small that antler is. Could be like a 1 or a 2-star. You got a couple 2 to 3. It's a really, really nice herd. And then you have the big boy in the back there, so that's him right there. So we could take a chance. So let's check the encyclopedia. So what does it say? So the bulls tend to be much larger than the cows and vocalize much more, with low grunts, clucks and humming, gasping. Bulls also have beards running along their throats and large horns with 2.5 twists. So we're not getting any indication of age here per se. And there don't seem to be much of a twist there. So we're going to take out one of these guys. And we're going to leave that big boy. Now it's a risk because, again, we don't know what we're shooting here. It's a roll of the dice. But to get an idea of what we have, we're going to look for the weakest, if you want to say. The weakest link, and we're going to take him out and see what kind of genetics do we have, which will give us a feel of what the overall herd is. It's a very, very odd angle here. I don't want to take that shot, but I just need a little opening to kind of get something here, but it's not working in my favor yet. Because let's face it, guys, herd management on Ranger is pretty tough, as intended. It's a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of documenting. If you're into this kind of stuff, it's amazing. It's so much fun. So you're not going to be able to hit up a lot of herds because you really have to get close to study the animals. So you're going to have to need a lot of time, a lot of investment into stalking. It's not easy, but it's rewarding. You would see just trying to get 1 5-star. It's really hard. But it's amazing when you get it. It's the only way I like playing because other than that, just hunting the UI and stuff is not fun. It's not rewarding. I haven't gotten a 5-star in a very long time, so trying to work my way to getting one. I'm trying to find a very effective way of doing that. Okay, we seem to have a little bit of an opening here, but I can't see the antlers. Can't see those horns. Okay, I'm getting a small window here. Let's have a look at what we have here. So that guy looks pretty young. We got at least 2 guys looking almost the same. So we're going to take one of these guys out. So that's the big boy there. And again, I don't have the feeling that he's ready for the taking. So at least this guy will let us know what kind of genetics do we really have. Because as you notice, we have at least 2 or 3 guys that looks the same. So this guy will be going down soon. Now this might work out perfectly here because we have that other herd that we saw when we were when we found the other guys. So they were a little more to my left. I think these are the same guys. So let's get a closer look. See what is in this herd. we seem to have the same type of scenario here. Got a big boy. And the rest of the herd looks pretty decent. But again, I don't think he's ready for the taking. The horns are wide, but they're not that huge. Right? So that's our first guy over there. We're going to go get him in a bit. So let's drop our tripod. Let's see what we're dealing with here. So we got a really young guy here. Very tiny horns. They could be like 2 1-stars. Pretty young looking. And the other guy is maybe a 2 or 3. Max 3. Now I don't have my collar with me, so we want to make a visual judgment. Depending on how you play, you want to, rely on your collar. It kind of breaks the experience because you get more of a robotic, response from the animal, the way they come in, and it's not really satisfying. But hey, that's all we got. And that's all, that's what we have at the moment that we can use. It's not ideal, but it's really one of the sure ways you can get low genetics from your herd. But if you don't care to use them, you can visually look and kind of try to make an informed decision. So I really like this guy up in the front over there, but I'm not getting a good angle on him. So we can be, just be patient and kind of wait and see how this develops. Because the problem I'm having here with these older males is that there's not enough twist and wideness to the horns. So I can't really trust that right now. I don't trust taking this guy down because he looks pretty good. But I'm going to give him a few more days. I'm going to document the location here that I found him and everything. And I'm going to come back and look for him in a couple of days. See what he looks like. And that's really the concept. You really want to find a way to have like an Excel sheet or something you want to use and kind of document what you find. And really build like a database, build some kind of a flow of what you're finding in certain areas. And you'll be amazed to see what you're finding. It's a lot of sitting and waiting and being patient. So I'm going to approach these guys a little bit. Maybe get their attention if I can. And maybe that'll give us a nice shot. Might just set us up for a good shot. Let me improvise a little bit on this side because I don't think they're going to turn back in a way to kind of give me a broadside shot. So I'll have to sort of shadow them a little bit and change my angle, my approach a little bit. So they're just within 120 something meters here. Very, very good distance. But I'm not getting a good broadside. They're just resting and walking. I'll probably just take an odd shot on this guy here. I don't want to clip the horns of the guy resting, but I'm not getting anything here from these guys. That's a big fella there, but I'm not trusting him at all. Let's try our tripod again. Let's take a shot on this guy. There we go. So we got him good. So sometimes that's what you gotta do. You gotta let the big boys walk. Live for another day. So he should be going down pretty soon, just over here. So let's see what we got. So 68 meters out. Get a nice left lung. And we have 65%. We got a 2-star. So this is what I'm talking about. We're getting a lot of animals that are around 65%, at a 1 or a 2-star. No longer 50. So I gotta use this as the new meta, if you want to say so. Kind of use this as my new gauge now. So at 65, thinking this is a very good herd. No doubt about it. If that's the average I'm getting on a 2-star, that should be a very decent herd. And I think that's them over there. So that big boy, when he hits peak, I'm guessing he's 86, 90. That's a very, very good potential. So that herd is pretty much just over here. We're going to keep an eye on that. Mark it. Track it. Write down what you take down. And if you want, like next time, bring like a caller or something and kind of call some weak animals from that herd. And then judge and see what you find from that. That's really what I'm going to do. That's my concept. If you want to use the collar, use that. If you want to eye it, take out the kind of weakest looking one and kind of see if you get lucky, because if it's a high genetic, then you pretty much screwed yourself. You know, so it's a roll of the dice. But I feel this is a very, very effective way of kind of getting a feel of what kind of herd you have. Because either way you look at it, it's a roll of the dice. So Just choose whichever way you want to do it and set yourself up. Obviously, if you use a caller, you can pretty much narrow things down to a couple, males in the herd, and that gives you a better chance. So either way you want to do it, there's pros and cons to it, visually or using a caller. So let's see how our judgment pans out here. So this guy is pretty much, I would say, in the middle of the pack. He doesn't have the smallest horns. He's not the smallest male. So we get a nice left lung, 104 meters out. And what do we have? We have an 81%. 3-star. Holy cow. And this is what I'm talking about. You see, taking this risk, this is what happens. This guy doesn't look impressive. Judging from his horns, there's a lot of twist to it, which I probably should have seen. It doesn't look that impressive per se. Seeing him in the field, he didn't look that big. But lo and behold, he's a 3-star, 81%. I can pretty much guarantee this guy would be at minimum 4-star. At 81%, usually it's 85 to hit a 5-star. And at 81, there's a slim chance probably he may not have hit 5-star. But again, you're seeing where even at this level, the top end is 81%. So this herd is another good herd. So now I have 2 herds now that I can go look at the top male and say, okay, I'm going to give these guys a few more days, check back on them, and I should be able to get a nice 5-star. So that's really what I wanted to share today, is trying to kind of chip away and find different theories as to how we can herd manage. Because this stuff is not easy, but it's a lot of fun. Very rewarding if you invest time into it. If you don't have the time, then this mood is probably not for you when it comes to herd management. But it's a lot of fun. I recommend it. Any hunters looking for a challenge, like a really deep challenge, this will be it for you. Guaranteed. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you play on Ranger and you herd manage, how you do it. Any tips you have. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.